टू एआई की पाठशाला। एआई की पाठशाला आपकी अपनी पाठशाला है। आप यहां आ सकते हैं और फ्री में शिक्षा ग्रहण कर सकते हैं। मैं जो भी सेशन कंडक्ट करता हूं, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फ्री एंड वी डू नॉट चार्ज एनीथिंग फॉर दैट। I usually conduct session on Zoom at 10 p.m. IST. So those of you who wanted to join my free live sessions on Python, machine learning, deep learning, databases, statistics, they can join my Telegram group link so that you can get the link of the session, because I usually post my session link there only. And if you are watching my recorded session, put your comments in the description section of the video and ask your doubts. Thanks. So let's start the session. Today our agenda is, today we are going to discuss errors and exception handling in Python. So let me share you my screen first. Guys, keep interacting with me, keep asking your doubts, because this session is completely hands-on. So I assume all of you should code along with me. So do not sit idle and simply watch my lecture. यहाँ प्रवचन नहीं सुनना है, यहाँ काम करना है. So let's start. Can you guys able to see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Is my audio is clear to you? Am I
Yes.
audible properly?
Yes.
You, Ruchi, can you please confirm?
Yes.
Fine. So let's start discussing exception handling in Python. So first of all, let me discuss some thing. Okay, fine. So first, I'm going step by step. So let me first show you this thing. And let's run this. Are you guys able to see this? So this is called
Yes.
except and else. What this says, first I'm giving you just an overview of these things. Thereafter, with the help of code, we will discuss each and everything. So what is this try? This is called try block. This is one block and is called try block. Thereafter, there is another block which is called except block. This is an except block. And this is an else block. And one more thing will add, and when we move ahead, we will add one more thing which is called finally. FANALLY, finally. This is a finally block. So mainly you will get 4 block of code. First block, this is my, let's say, second block. This can be any number of block. This is not, see, these are the fixed thing. This thing, you can consider this whole thing as one, and this is one. This is, sorry, this is my 4th block, and this is my 5th block in this case. So what this is, let me give you one scenario first with the help of code, and then I will explain you what is this try, this is except, and this is else block. So see, what is this exception is thing? See, sometimes when you code, you will come across a situation where you get an error because you have done some mistake. Either it can be a syntactical mistake or it can be a logical error or whatever thing. So in that case, what happens? You will get an error message and your code will not get executed. So to do this, whatever thing that is going to give you an error, that you suppose that it may give you an error, you keep that particular code in the try block. And to deal with that, to handle with that error, to handle that error, there can be some exceptions which you will write in the except block. It can be exception 1, it can be exception 2, and finally, whatever, if the error is, let's say, if the error has not occurred, or if this is not, if this thing is not true, it will execute the else block. So you will not understand by this way. Let me give you an example first. Everything will be clear. So let's take an example. Let's say if I write simply print, and if I write my name Anup, fine. And if I run this code, what will happen? Can anyone of you say what will happen?
A syntax error.
Syntax error. If I run this code, it will give me a syntax error. Sorry. If I run this code, it will give me a syntax error. And it is showing where this error is occurring. Unterminated string literal. Detected at line 1. That means I have done a syntactical error. Syntactical means grammatical. In common language, we call it grammatical error. So, and it is also showing me that you are doing the error here because I have missed this sign, this double apostrophe, double quotation at the end. That's why it is giving me an error. So this is one type of error. There can be any number of errors like this. Let's say if I will do if x is equal to, let's say 20, and thereafter if I do print x is 20. If I run this, what will happen? I will get an error. This is also a syntax error. Why this is a syntax error? Because if I am using if, so I have to end here with the help of a colon. Since I am missing colon here, so it is also showing me here that you have left something expected colon. That means the program is expecting a colon here, but I have missed it. So this is called the error. So this error I have done just to make the things understandable for you. So there can be any number of errors like this in Python. Now the question is how to deal with this kind of error, or this is an error, and let's take one more question. Let's say I am giving you x is equal to int input, and I am asking you to enter integer value. Let's say I am asking you to enter I am asking the user to enter an integer value. Fine. And this is y, let's say. And again, I am asking the user int to input some integer value. Enter integer value. And finally, I want to divide x by y. So print x division y. So this is my program, let's say. And if I run this, it is telling me to give the integer value. So let's give an integer value 50. Okay, input. I have to put input here. I have done a mistake. So let's run it again. Fine. So it is asking me to enter the integer value. So let's say put 50. Again, it is asking me to enter integer value, and I have put 0. Say, I am getting the error, zero division error. Why I am getting this error? Because the value of x is 50. It's fine, but the value of y is I have entered the integer value only, but I have entered 0. So you know from the mathematics that anything divided by 0 is not defined. It doesn't exist. It actually tends to infinity, and infinity is not defined. So when it is trying to calculate 50 by 0, it is not able to decide what to do. So it is throwing me an error, and this is called zero division error, and this is a very famous error. And it is also telling me here division by 0 is not allowed. So there can be any number of situations like that in our program where we intended to do something, but these are called exceptions. These are called exceptions. These are some cases where your program may throw you an error. Now the thing is that fine, it's good if we know that there can be a situation where where there is an error. So how to deal with that error? The question is how to deal with that error. Now, to deal with this error, what we have to do, whatever thing that is suspected to throw you an error, like this is the situation, print x by y. So this thing is suspected to throw in you an error because the particular thing is, from your knowledge, you understand if you are giving a, let's say, integer value, still if you put 0, you will get an error. And let's say if instead of, let's run this program again. Let's run this same program again. Let me write here so that it will remain in your sheet. Let's run the same program again. And now it is asking me to enter integer value, but instead of integer value, let's do some string value. Let's do this. So it will throw you an error. What it is telling you, value error. This is called a value error, invalid literal for int with base 10. That means it is asking you to enter an integer value, but it is asking you to enter, yes, integer value, but you are giving it some string value. So it is throwing you an error. So these are some of the situations where you are getting error. The thing is that what I wanted to explain you there.
Will you explain the last one again, please?
Last one?
Yeah, the last you just now explained. This type of error.
Let's run this again. So what it is telling me, enter integer value, because you know that you have to divide x by y. So for dividing x by y, you can only divide the integer value or maybe floating point value. But here, since whatever value you will put, it will convert it into integer. So you can only
Yeah.
divide integer by integer, na? But
Yeah, yeah.
let's say instead of what is integer, what is first thing that, let's say I am giving it instead of the integer value, let's give any value. This is a string value
Yeah.
and run it. What will happen? It will throw you an error. And what this error is? Invalid literal for int with base 10, Ruchi.
Okay.
That means it is expecting to get a integer value, but since you are giving it a string value, it will give you an error. Fine. So what
Yeah, got
you
it.
get it?
Yes, got it. Got it now.
So what I'm trying to tell you, this thing is called, to deal with this type of situation and many other situations like that, we are going to use this particular thing, which is called try, except, else, and one more thing will get added. I will explain you later. That is called finally. So what this try block is, what is this except block is, and what is this else block is. Now let's understand this again. So whatever thing that you suspect that it may give you an error, you should put it in the try block. And whatever, to deal with that exception, to deal with that error, if it occurs, so that your program should run instead of, in spite of the error it is getting, your program should always run. You are using this except block. And else is, let's say if the error will not occur, then the else block will get executed. Let's try to understand this with the help of few examples. But before going to this, before giving you, okay, let's give you some example. So one by one, I am going to explain you some type of errors which are going to occur. Most often you will encounter these type of errors, and at the same time I will explain you how to deal with that error, how to deal with that error. So let's say my first program is called, let's put, this is called syntax error. Syntax error. So let's take the example of this example only, what I have discussed during the first. Let's take this example. If I give it like this, if I what I am doing here, I am missing colon. MISSING, missing colon here. And if I run this, I am getting this error. This missing column is resulting in syntax error that I have already explained you. Now, so basically you can understand this. Whatever error that occurs in a, basically in a Python, we can divide it into two parts. Mainly there are two types of error, and thereafter it gets subdivided also, and different types of error occurs. So one is called syntax error and other is called exceptions. So let's understand this exception. What is this exceptions? Let me write it. Exceptions are runtime error. Runtime errors that occur during the execution of a program. So exceptions are the runtime error that occurs during the execution of a program. And what we are going to learn? Python provides a mechanism for handling these exceptions to prevent the program from crashing. Fine. So this is all. Same example I am taking. Let's say x is equal to get some value, let's say 10. Y is equal to, let's say, if you give 0, and if you simply print x by y, you will get an error. If you run this, you will get this error. So this type of error is called zero division error. Now, third thing that I am going to explain you is exception handling. Exception handling. What is this exception handling? How to deal with that error so that your program will run in spite of the fact that error has occurred. So how to deal with this error? Let's first show me a program to, let's x is equal to 10 and y is equal to, let's say, 0. Same thing is there what I have done in the previous code. Same thing. What I'm trying to explain you, I want to execute this program so that the program get executed and I should not get an error at call. This is called exception handling. To deal with the error in a graceful way so that our program get executed and I do not get an error also. So for this kind of situation, we need to, what is the thing that was actually giving me error? This x divided by y was actually giving me the error, was throwing me an error, because x divided by y is equal to 0. This was giving me a zero division error. So thing that is suspected to give me an error, I will put it inside the try block. So let's first write try, and after try give colon. Thereafter what you will do, think that is, let's give it a variable result is equal to x divided by y. Fine. Because this thing was suspected to give you an error, so I have put that thing inside a try block. Thereafter, to deal with this, let's put this statement except, except, and write zero division error. Division error. Since it was throwing me as zero, the zero division error is a class of error that belongs to the arithmetic class of error. So I will explain you all that. But for dealing with this situation, I have to write except, and thereafter I have to write zero division error, and I have to put this colon again. And thereafter, whatever thing that I want to, because I want to give a message to the, let's say, user, I can give that message inside this print statement. So let's, if you want to give it a message, if you do not want to give it a message, you can leave it. But let's say I want to give it a message. So give the user message division by 0 is not allowed. I want to give this message to the user. And finally, now same code is there, whatever I was doing here. Only the difference this time is that whatever the thing that was giving me an error, I put that thing inside this try block. This is a try block. And whatever error that it was giving me, I was writing this except block. After try block, I have to put this except block to deal with that error. So that error was a zero division error, is an error that belongs to the arithmetic class of error. And I want to print this message to the user. Now let's run this code and see what happens. So you can see this time the program get run and I am not getting any error, but I am getting this message division by 0 is not allowed, which I have put it here. Because if you, let's say, instead of this x, if you x is equal to 10 or y is equal to 0, let's say take this situation and let's say you put this thing as int x and int y. Let's give the input x and let's give it an input y. And here put this thing integer, let's say, and here put the same message integer. Fine. So what will happen this time? This program is asking you to enter the value, and let's say run this program and I'm entering this value. First value, integer value, I'm entering 100. Then it will ask me to enter second integer value. I am entering second integer value as 20. Then run it. This program gets run. And if say you want to print, let's change the scenario and if you want to print something, you can print the result here also, you can print. So you are not getting any error this time. Why you are not getting any error? Because definitely you have entered the two integer value. But instead of this, let's run it again. And if you, let's say, enter 100, and if you put the value of 0, so it should throw you an error. But this kind, in this situation, it is not throwing you an error. It is not giving you any error. Instead of error, what it is giving you? It is giving you division by 0 is not allowed. Because you are handled this error like that. So
but
this
in my
is
case,
called,
it is showing that in my
can you
case,
speak a little louder? Because I find it difficult to hear you.
yes, in my case, it is showing that an error that zero division error is not defined. Yes, I don't know why.
Zero division error is not defined?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a minute. Let me see.
Not an issue. Whatever you are facing at the end of the session, when I will cover, you please share me your screen, and thereafter I will resolve all your issues at that time. Is it fine for you?
Okay, okay.
So at least keep on understanding at this point of time. And whenever the session ends, just wait for a few minutes and I will resolve your issue. So this time, see, I am not getting an error. Why I am not getting error? Because I have dealt with this error with the help of this try and except block. That's why I am not getting an error. Instead of the error, I am getting division by 0 is not allowed. Similarly, this is handling a single exception. You can also handle multiple exception. We are exception handling. Fourth thing is that handling multiple exceptions. So now let's take one variable num and input function, and I want to enter a number, and this thing and this thing. Fine. Now try, right inside a try block, try result is equal to 10, let's say 10 by int num, and except, this is called value error, and whatever, if the value error occurs, you want to give some message, give that message. I am giving message invalid input is enter a valid number. I will explain you. Let me write it first. Thereafter, there is another exception that may occur. So that is called zero division error. If this occur, I want to show some different message, and that message, oh sorry, I want to show some different message, and this message is like division by 0 is not allowed, Fine. Now, first let's understand this thing. Let me explain you this thing first. See, what I'm asking, that enter, what is my situation, what is my result? 10 by integer of int num. Fine. So whatever the number that I am going to enter here, NUM, this is NUM, whatever number I am going to enter here, it will either, if I give a decimal number or floating point number, it will convert that number into integer value. So finally 10 by some integer it should give me, and I will get the result. So this is a simple way If anything exceptions will not occur, then in this situation, I will get my output and it is fine. But let's say in this here, enter a number, it is simply asking you to enter a number. You can put any number. If you simply put, instead of this number, instead of putting any integer or floating point number, if you will enter, let's say, some string value, let's say string value, my name Anu, or anything, or let's say anything XYZ, if you enter this thing. So we know that the integer divided by string is not possible, division is not possible. So in that case, I wanted to deal with this situation in which instead of the integer, if let's say a user will enter a string value or something else, or maybe some special characters, maybe something else, if the user enter, then in that case, how it will deal with it. So to deal with it, and I want that I should not get an error in this situation. So to deal with that, I have to take the help of this value error. This comes under the value error. So what I am writing in the except block, value error, and whatever message I want that it should get shown to the user, I will put it inside this print statement. So if the user is going to enter any string value, so what will happen in that case, this except block will come into picture, because this is a value error. So this except block will come into picture, and inside this except block, whatever print statement I have given, it is shown to the user. That is this this invalid input, please enter a valid number. Now, instead of this, if let's say user will enter in the denominator, that is the num, if the user will enter 0, then in that case, I know that the division by 0 is not possible. So it will throw a zero division error. So in that scenario, this except block will come into picture and it will deal with that error, and this error message will be displayed to the user. And in all these situations, my program is still running. It will not stop. It will not throw me any error. It will simply give me a message. But my program should always run in this situation. So let's now understand the same thing by running the program, so that you will get the clarity, much more clarity. Now let's run this program. What it is asking me, enter a number. So let's enter some string value. Let's give any string value and just see. Am I getting error anywhere? No, because I have dealt with that error. What it is showing me, it is giving me a message that I have given if this kind of error if the value error occurs. This is a value error because I am putting a wrong value. I have to put an integer value, but I am putting some string value. So that's why it is throwing me this error, and this message, invalid input, please enter a valid number, is showing. Now let's take the same code. This time what I will do, I will simply let's take the same code and run it again. So this time, instead of this string value, let me enter a 0 here. And you know that division by 0 is not allowed. It should throw me an error. So this situation, this except block will deal with this situation, which is a zero division error. And it is showing me this message, division by 0 is not allowed. But the same thing when I was doing here, without using this try and except thing block, when I was doing the same thing here, let's see here, I was getting this error and my program was not executing. But in this case, what is happening? My program is still executing because I have deal with that error. So to deal with this error is called exceptional handling. This process is called, when you deal with the error, this and your program is still run in spite of the error that you get, is called exception handling. I suppose this concept is clear to you. Now, one more thing that I have told you earlier, I will explain you in some time. So one last thing is, here is called else and finally block. What this else and finally block is. So here I was showing it try and except block. Now let's add these two things also, called else and finally block. So let's write the question. Let's write the situation. Let's write try first, whatever thing that is supposed, and let's write result, and let's type 10 divided by, let's say, 2, or it would be better if I will take the same thing. Let's do with the same thing first, and let me change it here. So okay, fine. Now let's, for the timing, I am removing this error, and let's put else here, else, else print results and type result here, and then put this finally block. Finally print execution completed. Fine. So now see, I have added two more block here, called else block and finally block, and this except block can be one or can be any number of block. It depends on you and it depends on situation. So what I am doing here, same thing I am doing here. I am calculating this result, that is 10 divided by integer of num. This is a value that I am going to enter. And now first I am dealing with the zero division error. If let's say instead of any integer value, either positive or negative or anything, if I will enter a 0, then it will throw me an error. So I am dealing with the zero division error. So what is this zero division error says? Whenever this zero division error, so I am asking my program, my code, to don't throw me any error, just give me this message, division by 0 is not allowed, so that as a user get aware that okay, I have done this kind of mistake, I do not have to do this mistake. This is for dealing with zero division error. If let's say I have not done this zero division error and I have given the correct value, I have input here, I have given an input, a valid integer value. So in that case, what will happen? This except block execution will not come into picture, because this except block execution will only come into picture when I will do the D0 division error. Since I am not doing a D0 division error this time, so what will happen? This except block will not come into picture, and my control will directly come here in the else block. And what it is written? Print result. And this result will get printed. Whatever result it is calculating here will get printed. And this finally block is the thing that will always get executed. Either the exception occurs or the exception doesn't occur. In both situations, this finally block will get executed. So whatever I will write inside this block, for your understanding, just I am writing this only print statement, but whatever thing you will write inside this finally block will get executed every time. So now let's run this program and then understand with the help of program running. First, let's put some valid number. Let's put 20 and run it. So what I am getting, see, since I have given a valid number, 20, let's say 20, iterate 20, and 20 is an integer value. So it is calculating the result 10 by 20, that is 0.5. So this time this block will not come into picture, because I am not doing this zero division error. Since I am not doing the zero division error, so this block will not come into picture. In spite of this, my control will go to the else block. My control will go to the, let me write it here. After this try block, this block will not come into picture. And finally, after this try block, my control will go to the else block. And what I have written inside this else block? Print result. So first it will print the result, and then whatever I got in the result thing will get printed. So this, when I divide 10 by 20, I will get 0.5. So this 0.5 is printed here. And this finally block will execute. It will always execute. So this finally block, what is written inside this finally block? Print execution completed. So this block is executed and it is printing the same message what I have put inside it, execution completed. Now let's understand the same thing with the help of different scenario. Now let's take the same code, since I am not writing it, so that you can understand when you will revise it. Let's run the same program, and now this time put a 0 and run it. What you will see, this time I am doing this zero division error, because I know that in the denominator, zero will not come. So it is, so I am creating a zero division error. So now this block of code, after this try block, this block of code will get executed. This except block will executed, and this else block will not get executed, because the else block will only get executed when the except block will not execute. And finally block will always execute, whether this block execute or this block execute. So what I have written inside this except block? Division by 0 is not allowed. So I am getting the same message here, division by 0 is not allowed. and this block is not executing, because this block will only execute when the except block will not execute. And finally, from this except block, my control will shift here, and I will get whatever I will write inside this finally block. So I have written inside the finally block execution completed. So I'm getting this print message here, execution completed. Now, let's take one more scenario here. Let's take one more scenario here to understand things in a better way. I'm taking the same code here, and let's run the, are you guys getting my voice, or you went to the sleep?
Yes, yes.
Yes, getting.
So I will tell you a joke. So before telling you a joke, let's finish this particular thing. So let's run this. This time, instead of this integer value, let's put a string value, Sankar. I'm giving some string value. See, I'm getting a error, and that error is called value error, because I have not dealt with this situation. I have dealt with, here in this scenario, I have only dealt with the zero division error. So, but I have not dealt with the value error. So I am getting a value error when I am doing the value error. And my program is not actually executed. But instead of the fact that I am getting the value error, see, this finally block is executing, that is, and writing execution completed. So thing is that this is we have dealt with the zero error. That's why I'm not getting error. But if you make a slight change in this code, and you deal with this value error situation also, you will not get the value error. So for dealing with the value error, what you have to do? Simply put one more except block here, except except block, and write here value error. Value error. Fine. And let's copy it from here. It will be easy so that I don't have to write it again. So just copy it here, paste it here. So to deal with this situation, simply what I have to do, I have to add one more except block here. So now there are two except block here. One except block will deal with the zero division situation, and other except block will deal with value error. And when I will add these things, now when I run the same code, and if I will give the same input, what I have given last time, SHANKER, I am not getting error. Instead of the error, what I am getting? Invalid input, please enter a valid number. Invalid input, please enter a valid number. And this finally block is executing. Again, in this scenario, this else block is not executing. Why? Because the except block has executed. So wherever the except block will execute, else block will not execute. Wherever the except block will not execute, this else block will execute. And this finally block will execute in both the scenarios. Hope this thing is clear to you.
Yes.
Fine. So let me tell you one very important thing. See, this exception handling is so much important that this is like a case of I suppose 30-40 years ago. So there was a plane crash, and when the scientists have researched it, the reason behind this plane crash, so reason was that everything was fine. There was nothing wrong with the equipments or machinery or plane, everything. The programmer who have written the code has not deal with the exceptions properly. And a scenario comes when the plane is at a very high altitude, and a scenario comes, and it has not given in the program, the programmer has not given it a suitable exceptions to deal with that situation. And since it doesn't deal with this situation, the program execution has failed, and it result in the crash of the aeroplane, and almost 200 passengers have died in that plane. 200 or more than 300 passengers has died in that plane. So and this, I think this is 40 years ago thing. So this is that much, this exception handling is so much important. Now it's time for a joke. So let me tell you one joke. So guys, are you excited to listen to the joke?
Yes.
You, Misra sir, are you excited to listen to the joke? Fine. So एक बार क्या हुआ, मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन को उसके मित्र ने पूछा कि मुल्ला यार, मेरे को जो मेरे घर के आसपास के पड़ोसी हैं, जो रिलेटिव हैं, बहुत पकाते हैं, बहुत परेशान करते हैं। तुम्हें मैं कभी परेशान नहीं होते हुए देखा हूं। तुम बड़े मस्त मौला रहते हो, और तुम्हें कोई ज्यादा पकाता भी नहीं है। तुम कैसे ऐसे लोगों के साथ डील करते हो? तुम क्या करते हो? तो मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन बोला, देखो बड़ा सिंपल सा इसका मैंने एक सॉल्यूशन, समाधान निकाल रखा है। मैं एक छड़ी और एक टोपी हमेशा अपनी टेबल पे रखता हूँ। वो सोचा यार, छड़ी और टेबल का क्या कनेक्शन है, लोगों को पकाना क्या? तो उसको बोला कि यार, ये छड़ी और टेबल से मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आया। तो बोला, देखो, मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन बोला, देखो इसके पीछे गणित है, इसके पीछे चाल है, इसके पीछे पॉलिटिक्स है, और इसके पीछे कूटनीति है, ये छड़ी और टोपी के पीछे। उसने पूछा, क्या है भाई, बता भी दो। कि देखो, मैं ना हमेशा एक छड़ी और टोपी अपने टेबल पे रखता हूं सामने, और जैसे ही मुझसे कोई मिलने आता है और मुझे उसकी आवाज, गेट गेट के खुलने की आवाज सुनाई देती है, जैसे ही आहट पता चलती है कि कोई आ रहा है मुझसे मिलने, मैं फटाक से टोपी लगाता हूं और छड़ी लेके खड़ा हो जाता हूं। जैसे ही देखता हूं कि जो आने वाला जो बंदा आया है, वो अपने, अगर मेरे काम का है, कुछ मुझे देने वाला है, कुछ मेरे लिए लेके आया है, या उसके साथ मुझे थोड़ा टाइम बिताना है, वो पूछता है कि मुल्ला, कहीं से आ रहे हैं या कहीं जा रहे हैं? बोलता है, नहीं नहीं नहीं, अभी कहीं गया था, बस लौट ही रहा हूं। आप आइए, बैठिए, तशरीफ लाइए, चाय पानी पीजिए। और अगर देखता हूं मैं कि मेरे काम का बंदा नहीं है, मुझे पकाने वाला है, तो बस मैं कह देता हूँ कि अरे भाई साहब, बहुत व्यस्त हूँ, कहीं जाने वाला हूँ, निकला हूँ, अभी बस निकल ही रहा हूँ, नमस्कार, मैं चलता हूँ। और मैं निकल लेता हूँ थोड़ा बाहर। तो सामने वाले को मैं मौका ही नहीं देता हूँ पकाने का। नहीं है समझ? No one has laughed. So what wrong you are doing, Ruchi, here? That in zero division error, you have to first, you do not have to give this space. Just remove this space. And this error also you have to give capital E, I suppose. Right, capital E instead of small e. Error. Now run it again. Put any put first integer x, any valid integer. Not for put x is equal to, let's say, any something. Yes, 2. Fine. 20. Then put y is equal to 0. Are you getting the output now?
Yes.
Division by 0 is not allowed. Now,
No.
see, come in the next handling multiple exceptions. Come. So here, see, stop, please stop. Here, what wrong you are doing? Just try to find out the wrong that you are doing in this block.
Actually, the same problem I was also getting.
Yes, same. See, Ruchi,
Yeah.
in the except block, what you have written? Value error. So V should be in capital and this E should be in capital. Error of E should be in capital. E, fine, and V should be in capital. Starting V. Fine. Now same except zero division. Put capital Z, capital D, and capital E. Capital D and capital E. Fine. Now run this. Put some value, put something. Put 0, let's say put 0. Put 0. So this is running right now. Same mistake you are doing here also in the second, in this block also. Above. First go above. In the previous block. See, value error. Here also you are doing value error. V, capital V. And
Then why it's running?
Because it is not coming in the except block, na? That's why. If you put something different, it will throw you an error because it is not going in the except block. That's why you are not getting error here. It is jumping to the else block. But write some string value. Fine. Now it is properly. Same error, same mistake you are doing here also. Yes, capital E should be in capital, and all this thing is correct. Now run it. Run again. No, go to that block and then run again. Fine. So this time put some, let's say put 0. This, are you understanding?
Yes.
And now do one thing. Run again. The same block, run again. Yes, run again. Run it. This time put some string value. You are getting. Why you are getting this error? because you are not dealt with the value error this time.
Yeah, and then the exception we are not
Yes,
including.
that's why it is throwing you this exception. But if you deal with the value error, it will not throw you in. So write this except just wait. Just go to the above, come below. Is anything you have written below? No. So just go above, go above, go above. Previous code, go in the previous code. Go in the previous code. Go in the previous code. Wait. And just copy this except value error from here. Copy this entire except value error and whatever is inside this, copy it from here. Complete. Also, you have to copy this print. Copy. Just select it. Why you are not able to copy the two? What you have done?
Yeah, delete हो गया.
So copy क्यों नहीं हो रहा था?
कर्सर काम नहीं कर रहा.
ओके, ठीक है, नीचे आओ, नीचे आओ,
उसे राइट लिखना पड़ेगा.
नीचे आ जाओ, जिस ब्लॉक में थे अभी उसमें आ जाओ.
उसमें
अभी बाद में क्लास के बाद इसको प्रैक्टिस करके देखना क्यों नहीं कॉपी हो रहा था. ठीक है, जस्ट
पुराना
राइट एक्सेप्ट, राइट, एंटर की प्रेस करो, पीछे आओ, राइट एक्सेप्ट स्पेस, राइट वैल्यू एरर, put colon and print any message. Print invalid input, right? Invalid input, invalid input, full stop, write something else. Please enter a valid number. Please enter valid integer. Instead of number, you can write integer. Now run this same code again. This time, put a string value, any string value. See, you have to first convert this input into integer. You have not converting this input into integer. Write int before this input. Let me see your code again.
After number, there will be a semicolon. Enter a number.
Enter a number. No, if you will not give a semicolon, it will fine. It will
there
be
should be a gap.
No, it is fine. That is fine. That is not an issue. Let me see what is wrong in your code. Except zero division error, then print division zero not allowed, except value is V capital, value error, invalid input is into a valid integer, else print result, finally print execution completed. So just interrupt the kernel, go to the kernel, go to the kernel, and interrupt the kernel. Yes, do interrupt. Okay, fine. Fine. It's fine. Let me see your code. Int. Okay. Oh, don't need to put int here. Okay, you are already, we are giving int here, so there is no need to put int here. Please remove the int after the num. Please remove the int after before the num, because we are already giving int here, so there is no need to give it there. Also remove this bracket, parenthesis, one parenthesis. Yes, this side also. Now try result is equal to 10 except zero division error. Value is not allowed except value. So this should run. Why this is not running? The same code I have written. Okay, run it again. Let me see. Okay. Yes, run. Do some string thing. Okay, it's running this time. So it has run. Again run it. Go there in that cell. Keep your, come to this cell only, na? Okay. Again run this. This time put 0. One more way. Do you know one more way to run this? Don't use this run command, run button. Ruchi, don't use this run button. Come to the cell. Come to the cell. Just press Control Enter key. Control Enter key.
So control the.
Now enter any number.
Any number.
Anything, whatever you want, enter it. So do you understand how to run without using this run button?
Yeah.
What you have to do?
Control Enter.
And one more way is to do in the window, I suppose, is what is the key? One way is to enter Control Enter, but in like, what are the other keys present in the window? Can you tell me? In Mac, it is Option Enter. If you, okay, fine. So, Mr. Misra sir, do you have any problem except the whatever we have discussed right now? If
no, same problem.
Same problem you were having?
Yeah.
Okay. So I suppose your problem is also got resolved today.
Right.
So now tomorrow, see, this is your task assignment for tomorrow. If you do not download it, it will automatically be saved in your, don't need to download it. If you need to download, it's fine. Otherwise also it is already saved. So see, Ruchi, what you have to do, whatever code that we have discussed today, practices tomorrow before coming to this session, so that it will be easy for you to, what you want to do, Ruchi. Tell me, please tell me what you want to do. Ruchi?
You think?
What you want to do? Please tell me. I will help you.
I just wanted it to download.
Okay, just close this about blank. About blank. Close it. This about blank. Okay. Now see. Let me see. See. You do not need to download it because see in the when you were working on a Google Colab. Let me explain you, Ruchi. Is when you were working on a Google Colab. So at that time is that it is not in your local, it is on a cloud-based platform. So at that time you need to download it. But here it is already getting saved in your drive in your directory. So you do not need to download it. Whenever you want to, let's do one thing. Just let me see any. Just come down. Just come at the end. Just come at the end. Fine. Come. Mr. Sir, this is for you also. Please see. Just come at the end. Okay. Go in the new cell. Is PWD, I suppose, will not work in your system. Just type PWD. Let's see what will happen. PWD. Press enter key. Not press enter key. Run it. Run it. Control. Return. Okay. Name PWD is not defined. Okay. Instead of this PWD, do one thing. Instead of this PWD, just erase this PWD, go in that cell only. Write import OS. Then in the second line, write OS dot get CWD. And yes, just run this. So you are in the best directory. Fine. I understand you are in the best. What? Just close this. I'm showing you. Just close this. No, not this. This error and exceptions in Python. Just close this. Errors and exceptions in Python. Just close this sheet. Wait, please wait. Okay, fine. Now, just come down. See here. Error and exceptions in Python is there.
Yes.
Just open it. Just press double, don't select, simply press 2 times there. Yes, press it. And please wait. Wait. See? Everything that you have written is there.
Yes.
Come down, come down. Keep on coming. Keep on coming till end. See? So you can do one thing, Ruchi. You can do just, this is for helping you out. So do one thing. I'm just showing you, just close all those things. Close everything. This error and exceptions, this home also close. Close this. Fine. Okay, and then minimize the screen. Minimize screen. Minimize your screen. No, do not need to do that. Close that. Just minimize your screen. Yes. Now do one thing. Go to your my PC. First, go to your my PC. Yes, this PC. Open this PC. Okay. Yes. Open C drive. Open users. Open best. and create one folder. Create one folder here. How to create a folder? Do you know how to create a folder? Simply do not press there. Simply come anywhere. No. And please press your cursor. Right, press your cursor.
I know that. It's not
Hmm?
happening. I know this thing, but it's not happening.
Simply do new item here, from here above, new folder. You just create a new folder from the above. Here, in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes. New folder. Press. Yes. Give this name AI Ki Pathshala. AI capital. Give it a name, capital AI. Capital AI. KI PATH SHALA. Fine. Okay. Just press your cursor anywhere else. Fine. Now go inside this AI Ki Pathshala and create one folder again, and keep the name of this folder Python practice. Python class practice. Python class practice. Class practice. Fine. And create one other folder here. Create one another folder here. Yes. Right. Assignments. Assignments. Capital A, put capital A. Assignments. So whatever assignment you will do, put it here. Fine. Create one more folder here. Git and GitHub. Fine. Create one more. It was fine. Okay. It was okay. Create one more folder here. Give it a name, Python notes. No. Come back. You have created so many folders. Delete those folders. Fine. Delete this also. Delete it.
एक तो करना ही है.
Then ये just yes. Now name it Python notes. Python. Python. Put Python and notes in capital, or you can put underscore also. That will be a good better way to name the Python underscore notes. Fine. Same way you can put here also Python underscore class underscore practice. That is a good way practice of writing a folder name. And put everything starting rename. You have to do rename. Yes. And put capital P underscore capital C, because it is convenient to read, na? If you capitalize like this, underscore practice, P, capital P. Good. Fine. Same way you can do for Git and GitHub. Git underscore GitHub. Instead of Git and GitHub, you can put Git underscore GitHub. Fine. Okay. Now close this. Close the terminal also. Open the terminal. Open the terminal. Close it. Fine. Again open the command prompt. Again open the command prompt. Write Jupyter notebook here. Or first write conda activate base. Fine. First activate your conda environment. Conda activate base. Conda activate base. Enter key. Then write Jupyter notebook. Wait. See, this page will appear. Now you can do, just go to the AI Ki Pathshala folder. Can you see this AI Ki Pathshala?
Yes.
Now let's say whatever you will do inside this class, so what you have to do, I'm just making your work easy. That's why I'm guiding you like this. Just open this Python class practice. Open. Yes, open this. Just press there. Yes, press there. Fine. Now go to the new on the right hand side. Just after upload, yes, create the Python file. Create a Python file, Python 3. Yes, create it. What you were doing? Just wait. Fine. Name this file. Name untitled. You have to name. Yes, press there. Write errors and session. Write the name of the session. This is 35th session. Write session 35. Session underscore session underscore 35 underscore error capital E error underscore exception excption underscore part 1 part part underscore 1 underscore 1. Now see, when you are please wait, when you are naming your folder like this, everything is clear. If you will come to this folder after 3 months or 1 year, then you will understand that session 35 was the error and exception session, and part 1 means that the first session of error and exception. Now similarly, whatever practice you will do, what happens, just from there, when this, you have to create the folder inside it, and every folder will be saved here. You do not need to download it every time. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Do you understood this? How you have to do this now? So you can create as many folders here and just keep on naming it. When you do practice, you can do practice, it will all get saved in this folder. If you are right now you are doing Python, fine. If after some time you will do, let's say, statistics, create a folder with the name statistics. Inside this statistics, lot of topics will be there. You can create a different topics with that name. Similarly, you can create as per your need and requirement. But do you understood what I will say? Now, just open this AI Ki Pathshala. Just go to the AI Ki Pathshala Python. Just go to this tab, AI Ki Pathshala /Python. The middle slash. Yes. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. No. You do not. Just, oh, you are coming back. The refresh button, this back button, back button, back. Yes, come back. Come again back. Come again back. See, whatever you were doing right now, it is all here. Just come below. Come below. See, today class folder is saved here. Just open this error and exception in Python. Just open this folder. Just open this. See. Do you get the point what I was trying to explain you?
Yeah.
Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Shankar sir? Shankar sir? Are you there, Shankar sir?
Yes.
So are you getting these things?
Yeah.
I suppose these are also your doubts. So do you understand how to create a folder, how to access the things that is in your directory?
Yeah.
Fine. Now, do one thing, Ruchi. Just minimize your screen. And this time, just go to the, open your command prompt again. New command prompt. New command prompt. Fine. Just do conda activate base here. Press enter key. Okay. Just do cd space one dot. See, wait. Go cd, type cd space dist in capital. Press enter key. Now type cd space dot, press enter key. Okay.